When I tell you that I've been trying to film this video for the past 20 minutes and it keeps messing up. Anyways, Hi Baes, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, my name is Ofente and I am your book bae. Your book bae is in the building, honey. So on this channel we do bookish and lifestyle content, and if you don't already, please do follow me on Book Talk or TikTok and Instagram at OfenteMDK for both platforms. And yeah, let's get into the review. This is a book review on Happy Simelane or Her Majesty's book, Your Dreams Are Valid. So if you watch reality television, if you're a babe like me who binges reality television any chance she gets, then you know all about the Mummy Club on Showmax, which is a South African reality television series based on women who are juggling motherhood and just life while also living very opulent lifestyles. Because I don't know about you, but my taste is the type of reality television where I can't relate. Like, I don't want to relate to what I'm being shown on television. Like, okay, like I want to see obscene wealth, which I don't know, in the context of developing African countries is relative. Like, you can't necessarily compare what we see in South Africa to what we see in America, etc., etc. I'm very much aware of that, trust me. But yeah, I still love to live in the delusions, even though sometimes it's not necessarily all real. But yeah, it is what it is. Her Majesty, or Happy Simelane, but I will refer to her as Her Majesty for the purposes of this review, is a cast member on the Mummy Club on Showmax. She has 3 wonderful daughters and she's lived a very tumultuous life. She speaks about finding out that her husband was cheating on her after he had passed away, that he passed away with a side chick in the car, etc., etc., etc. So she has a lot of juicy storylines and she's lived quite like a complicated life. So you can only imagine that when I was looking forward to reading her book, I was expecting something like a tell-all, but that was not what I received at all. No, honey. So I won't necessarily go into a synopsis of the book because it's like a self-help. So I mean, there is no synopsis per se, there is no storyline. It's kind of like the tools or the subject, chapter headings, which speak to different elements of her journey and self-help, but she's not really personal, which was the thing that was kind of disappointing to me, because the whole reason why I'm reading this book is because, wow, here is this larger than life reality TV star who has so many stories to tell. I mean, she spoke to, for example, the time when she almost got human trafficked by the syndicate that Baes was involved in, yada yada yada. So I don't know, like that's what I was expecting to hear about, but then I'm hearing about self-help. The tone of the book was quite conversational, and the diction that she used was accessible. Like, you know, it's colloquial, but like not necessarily formal-ish, like I think accessible for like the average South African who, you know, wants to know about that type of stuff. More so focused on business, so building yourself in the business world as well as just like your craft, whatever you're trying to do, career girly kind of thing. Not a very long read at all. I think I read it in one evening, and that was while I was actually cooking. So I bought the book online, super easy to purchase. I think I found the link in her bio on Instagram, and then I think the book was about 150 rand, so nothing too steep, very affordable, all of that good stuff. And then I read the book and we go into the themes of the book: self-help, business, overcoming, doing like, you know, being honest with yourself, doing like the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, analysis on your life. Yeah, that's the themes that are outlined: business, money, having a money mindset, having a money making mindset, going beyond, like stretching yourself and putting yourself out there. Just not necessarily letting your past be the determining factor of where you end up in life, but giving yourself the future that you want and not being bogged down by, I don't know if it's generational trauma or generational position in the world. Diction and tone kind of overlap in this way because it was kind of conversational, nothing too formal, understandable, accessible, you know. What else? So what I liked about the book, I don't know if I really liked anything, and I'll explain why when I discuss my dislikes, which I think I can go actually straight into it, the dislikes. In terms of my dislikes, I think the way that the book is marketed, it's marketed completely differently. Like, she talks about, like, she's such a larger than life character, and then she's like, read my book, read my book. Even when she discusses the book, it's not necessarily like she says, I've gone through this, but read all about it in my book. I think that's like a clickbaity tactic, because she knows that, like, she's discussing interesting things and we're already kind of hooked and want to know more, and then we read the book and then it's nothing like what we anticipated, but we've already purchased it. We've already paid the 150. Do you know what I mean? So that was kind of a letdown for me. I didn't like that about the book. I also felt like, another thing I didn't like about the book, I felt like it's nothing that we haven't heard before. So I know, like, self-help is a genre which is tricky, because I don't know, like, what really can you say that people haven't heard? And oftentimes when it comes to the self-help genre, it's not to say that we don't know some of the things that we're reading about, but it's like a helpful reminder, or helpful thing that you read something and that it's presented in a way that you didn't, the same concept or thinking, but it's presented in a way that you perhaps didn't think about it before, or you're able to kind of like understand it in a more intimate way based on the examples given, yada yada yada. There is nothing that I read in that book that I haven't already read, that I haven't been exposed to, that is a unique idea or a unique way of looking at things. So maybe I also had to interrogate the fact that perhaps I'm not the target market for the book, because that's another thing, right? Like, there are people for specific products. Like, who is this book for? So I realized that this book might not be for me. I might not be the target market that she's writing for, but I'm going to review it anyway, because that's what I do on this channel, right? So you guys know whether you are the person for the book or not. So yeah, we can go into what I didn't like about the book, because I had spoken earlier, if the video didn't get cut, because I'm having an issue with my storage at this point in time. But like I said, I didn't have any likes. I didn't really like anything about the book. But what I disliked about the book, I disliked the fact that I feel like the themes and the things that are discussed in the book, we've heard it all before. And perhaps that is an issue with the self-help genre, is that, I mean, there's only so much that you can say to assist people, unless it's a completely different concept that nobody has ever discussed or spoken about before, or spoken about in that way, or you are really personalizing it and talking about you in a way that is intimate to the reader. Then what's the point of writing the book? I would say that also, I don't think the book was well researched, which was another thing that was kind of annoying. What else? Oh, this idea of network marketing. So when it comes to being successful or wealthy, people always want to know how you did it, right? So she gets the